When did you decide to invest in solar for your home?
We actually invested in our previous house in Hampshire, though that must have been in about 2012 or something like that.
That was a ground
But
mounted.
that was a ground mounted in the garden because we were in a listed building,
Right.
and they wouldn't allow us to put panels up at that stage. And it was very successful. But I have to say, nothing like as successful as what Joju provided for us. We've been thrilled with what we've achieved collectively.
Tell us a little bit about your house and how the design and installation process was for you.
The house is bizarre. It's it's an extended bungalow.
With aspirations to be a Spanish hacienda.
That's right.
I like the sound of it.
Lots of big windows,
turrets
and turrets.
Wow.
It's mad. It's a madhouse.
But it does have some good roofs.
Yes, it's got lots of good roofs, and facing south, so we look across Loch Tay. So it's very, very bright, and we see all the weather, which I love. I love driving rain just as much as I love the sunshine.
Yes.
So we've been very pleased with the outcome. Joju has done a fantastic job, not only in the design but also in the detail. We've got systems for stopping birds nesting underneath, and so it's a very good looking product, but it has worked extremely well with the battery.
And I think that a lot of people assume that Scotland will not be bright enough, but in the summer it gets light around 3 a.m, and it's light until between 10 and 11 at night.
Gosh.
So even if it's not a very bright day, we make a lot of electricity, and it's just amazed us really how much we make. And we're very happy to send some to the grid, but we're particularly relieved because in the 5 years we've been here, we had Storm Arwen, and then there was a storm beginning with a B, and then this year we've had Storm Amy. So that's 3 different storms. We were cut out for 7 days with Arwen, which I think was just before we got the panels, and then Amy, we were out for the weekend, a long weekend, and it is quite a relief to us. And it was an especial relief when we had my mother still living with us and alive, elderly and not very mobile, and so to know there would be electricity for lighting and hot water was really important, and it was a safeguard that in the background, for me especially, but for both of us.
And that even in October, we were able to run the house during the day, and the battery ran the house in the night.
And the day.
So that was quite remarkable in October in Scotland that we could do that.
And the power went out at 6:30 on Friday night, and it didn't come on again till about 4 on the Monday, and we only got it on the Monday because they had left a generator. The electricity company had left a generator from the previous week when we'd been off the grid for 3 weeks and on a generator, all 6 houses here, because they were taking down trees prior to Storm Amy to prevent blackouts. Unfortunately, they left one tree directly in line with an electricity pole, and it took the pole out, which took the wires out, which is why we went out for the weekend.
Right. In terms of knowing that you've got that backup in a storm situation, has that made a lot of difference to you in terms of peace of mind?
Oh, definitely. Obviously, in the depth of winter with the shortened days, particularly up here, I doubt whether we could exist just on the photovoltaics and battery. But certainly in October, we were able to. But Joan will give you just a few statistics in terms of what we generate, because we had an email from Tesla saying that we were in the top 11% of domestic production of electricity, which is
gobsmacking.
Which was amazing, really, when we're up, up here.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I thought that was quite extraordinary.
Yeah, this year already, and that's with 2 major spells, because we were off the photovoltaics for how many weeks the first time? Was it 4 weeks or 6 weeks we were on the generator? And then we went back on again.
Yes.
And then we were off it again for another 3 or 4 weeks,
yes,
3 weeks, 2
right.
weeks maybe. And they were both big months when we could have made an awful lot. We were off for a chunk of July and we were off for a chunk of October. So this year we've made 6.32 megawatts, and over the lifetime of the array we have made 24.4 megawatts. Gosh. According to the Solar Edge app.
And what have you learned, do you think, as users of this technology since you've had it installed?
I suppose the key message really is that we have all got to change our behaviours, and there are technical solutions to ensure that we have sustainable lifestyles. I mean, that's the big message, isn't it?
Indeed.
I suppose Joan rants and raves at the failure of government to insist on every new house, having this photovoltaics built in
from the get-go.
From the get-go, and we passed houses. Yes, we were in Edinburgh in a conference yesterday, and we passed houses newly built, but just with 6 panels, tiny, on each roof, and it was a sop too. It wasn't taking the matter seriously. So this point about government policy, I mean, we ought to make it a condition of planning consent as well as building regs. I mean, it's a building regs issue, really, because the building regs ought to be ensuring that new development are sustainable.
I think one of the biggest things for me about the whole process has been that there are so many cowboys out there in solar, generally solar. That is the biggest fear, I think, that stops people doing it at all, or makes them limit their exposure in case it goes wrong. And I think it's fair to say that if we hadn't known Mark, we wouldn't have been introduced to Joju necessarily. We were so confident that your company would do a good job, but that was partly through a personal link, and then we have now passed that on to other people because it worked so well for us, and it is working for them too. Interestingly, about the actual style of ours, people comment on how good it looks, which I think is quite strange. Yeah. But even people who've got solar, I think that's quite an interesting comment. Ours is quite a steep roof because in Scotland we often have snow, and it's I don't know if that makes a difference, but it just does look very smart.
Yeah,
it does. And the other interesting thing is the builders who come here, and we have people we have a plumber, for example, who is a terrific friend to us because he's very very loyal,
and he turns up in an emergency.
Turns up in emergencies. He loves the system and is actively promoting it elsewhere.
Yeah, his son's got the system now.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So he's he met the lads that were putting it in.
Yeah.
And learned a lot from them, and went on. Then he has apprentices and things like that. So it's funny enough, it's the personal contacts almost that have expanded it.
And when it was being installed, was that process really simple and straightforward for you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
very confident in the ability.
Very confident, very quick, worked very hard. Although our roofs are big, they are quite complicated.
Yeah.
And I think they did a first-class job, and they were very nice people as well.